Hey weirdos, it's the Destination Nightmare movie. Fiendish films for Saturday nights. Monsters, science fiction, and occasional terror. And now, here's tonight's movie.
Good evening and welcome to Live from Hollywood, and happy Passover for those of you who are involved with Passover. I'm Jack Sturdy, Entertainment 39's Jack Sturdy, here again for another week, at least Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evening, for your pleasure. Well, it's good to be back. I had a few days off there while George Capewell, my co-host, stood in, but I'm back tonight, and I have some interesting news for you. We have an abbreviated show this evening, and we will all week. Tonight we'll be on from midnight till 3 a.m., So all I have for you are a film, and the film is Island of Living Horror, and we'll have a Gunsmoke, and that Gunsmoke is the river, and we'll see the first part of the river tonight and the second part of the river tomorrow night. So those of you who are saying, what's this, only 3 hours? I guess you'll have to go to sleep from 3 to 6 a.m. like me. It'll be a nice change of pace, as they would say. Michelle is here with me again tonight. You remember Michelle, my snake, my cobra. She's got her little diamond right back here, and that tells you that Michelle, my dear, is a king cobra. Isn't that correct? She has beady red eyes, for those of you who don't have color television. Just minor beady, not major beady, just beady enough. Behind me you see a couple of posters. I should say we don't call them posters anymore. We call them one-sheets. The one sheet back here, Swing Shift, of course, George had on the air Saturday. Here in the middle I have Tom Cruise with All the Right Moves. Now, that's a movie that's not current. It was out a couple of months ago, 3 or 4 months now. But have I got a surprise for you folks? See right here? This is also Tom Cruise. And I'll be giving these away tonight for our trivia questions. Now, we got some great trivia questions. I hope you have some great trivia answers. And it all has to do with Island of Living Horror, which is part of a trilogy. And the trilogy was called, have you ever tried to roll these posters up? I mean, please, do they make a lot of noise? The trilogy was called the Blood Island Trilogy, and there are 3 parts to it. The other 2 films you're going to be seeing tomorrow night and Wednesday evening. So we have all 3 together. So we have the reason they're called the Blood Island Trilogy is because they all take place on Blood Island. And these are pretty schlocky, cheap horror films, but for what they represent and what they are, it's sort of a mini-class masterpiece when you think about the fact that here are 3 films together. They all star the same individual. I'll be asking that question a little later on. But the other films, tomorrow night, of course, we have Tomb of the Living Dead, and Wednesday night we have Beast of the Dead. Those are our 3 Blood Island films. Gunsmoke, of course, as I said tonight, will be The River, and that's I don't know if you've seen that one. So those of you who have seen it, you'll enjoy it. It's a 2-parter, and we'll be showing tomorrow night the second part of it. Because of our abbreviated time period, those of you who, just absolutely live and die by My Favorite Martian are just going to have to, as we say in the biz, get over it. Because we don't have My Favorite Martian tonight. No more Robin Hood, Richard Green, and not this evening anyway, and no Perry Mason this evening. Now, we may be going back to the format. For the time being, though, we will be on our, as we say, the abbreviated format. That allows Sturdy a little more time to sleep, and you a little more time to well, whatever you do in bed in the middle of the night from 3 to 6 a.m., don't ask me. I'm here. So, That's me blushing. Do you notice the blush just on the cheeks? A little blush, little blush. The remainder of the week, after Wednesday, you'll have to check with George and see what he has going as far as your films and what the programming will be like, because we will be changing programming nightly. We will have Gunsmoke at least through tomorrow. We may have that again Wednesday. I'll keep you apprised day by day as we go through the situation. I saw a couple of great films. I know all of you call in and ask me about that. They say, well, Sturdy, you spend a lot of time at the movies. What have you seen that's good? The new Robin Williams film, Moscow on the Hudson, I know there are a couple of critics that didn't like it at all. I liked it very much, 3.5 stars. It's about a Russian immigrant, and it's not an immigrant. He's a defector, actually. Robin Williams, who defects. He's on tour. He's a musician with part of the Russian circus, and they land in New York, and he decides to defect and become an American citizen. It's by Paul Mazursky, and Mazursky, of course, has done so much work about New York. An Unmarried Woman is probably his most important and major film to date, but there was also Next Stop Greenwich Village, a host of other films along with that. And Mazursky has sort of the same kind of love affair with New York that Woody Allen had, or I should say still has. They both love the city and recognize its, we'll say, faults, because New York City is not without faults, but they also love all of the great things about New York, and it really translates. Those of you who are New Yorkers or are fond of New York City, I think will thoroughly enjoy Moscow on the Hudson. I did. And I'm not even a New Yorker. I'm from the Midwest. But I love New York, and it's great to see a film that really captures the essence of the city and handles it well and is beautifully done. We're going to go to the film Island of Living Horror, but before we do that, my first question of the evening, and I'm going to take, my golly, I look over at the phones and the lines are already just flashing as if there were no tomorrow. I mean, please, right? Are we ready for that? The prize, of course, is right here, this poster of Tom Cruise from All the Right Moves. And the question is, our film this evening, Island of Living Horror. Oh, I should tell you who got all this information together for me. It's our film editor here at the station, Kip Dotto. Kip, I want to thank you again. Kip really has a tremendous understanding and love, I should say, even more than understanding, a love of science fiction and horror cinema. So, we just sit and rap like for an hour before we really come on the air, because he has so much, a vast amount of knowledge in an area, particularly as I call them, the cheapy Japanese films, Rodan, Godzilla, that Mothra, Ghidorah, that group, which I know peripherally, but I don't really know thoroughly well. I'm more well-versed in the American sci-fi and horror films, but he knows all that. Starman, Ultraman. Starman is that's like Robert Redford. He's a big star, and he's a man, right? And Ultraman, that's got to be John Travolta, right? Because he can dance? No. It's a funny, haha. Okay, the question is, Island of Living Horror was originally titled... Aha, you expected me to say it, didn't you? You expected me to blurt that title out. I'm not going to blurt that title out. I'm going to take the 10th caller to tell me what the original title of Island of Living Horror happens to be. 10th correct caller will receive a Tom Cruise All the Right Moves one sheet. But now let's go to our film, Island of Living Horror.
for you want to bury yourself in that island? Nobody visits that island except this ship. And that is once every 6 months.
Why, that's a very good question, Captain. I suspect my husband thinks of it as an act of atonement. Mostly for me.
This is something I've been looking forward to doing for a long time. Believe it or not.
Well, this is absolutely your last chance. The dessert is fine, but dull scientists.
You know, I just might take you up on that.
You know, you just might have a mutiny on your hands, Captain. And I can't say I'd blame the crew.
Gallantry from the Peace Corps? Why, I'm overwhelmed.
Any mutiny, I can handle.
Maybe I could help the captain keep the crew happy.
I better see to my gear.
Me too.
Would you like me to help?
If you like.
Isn't that what a good wife is for? Get out of my way.
You can stop that. Now get in there.
Aren't you growing up a little fast, little boy?
You tell me.
Defensa Estribor! Captain? Thank you. Don't worry about your gear. I'll take care of it. Mala?
I've never seen so many sad faces. Sad and frightened.
Then maybe you should remain on board and take up my offer.
Perhaps if you were a little bit younger, Captain.
Oh, Paul, don't be tiresome. Here comes the local Rotary Club.
Let's go meet them.
This is where you dwell. My granddaughter and I will stay there.
Arcadio, what did those women really die of?
I told you. Accident.
What kind of an accident, Arcadio?
Oh, here's my granddaughter now. Alan.
Hello, Adam. She's very lovely.
Alan has studied in the mainland. She will be your interpreter. Besides myself, she's the only one that speaks English in this island.
Not the only one, Lolo. You're forgetting Mr. Powers and Goro. We know that you have come to do us good. We are your servants.
Well, I'm supposed to say at this point that we're here to serve, not to be served. I only hope it works out that way.
I, too.
I'm Jim Farrell. This is a scientist, Dr. Henderson, his wife.
You are most welcome. It will give me great pleasure to do what I can to help.
Well, I'm afraid Paul won't be very much help to you in the pleasure department, dear. Now, young Farrell here, maybe you and I could...
Carla, after a rather hectic morning, I had hoped you could manage to forget the subject for the rest of the day.
Well, let's get this stuff inside, huh?
Pasok lahat yan.
Oh, light. Oil lamp?
No petroleum.
Last year, when the authorities in the mainland instructed me to provide food and shelter for you, conditions were different.
In what way, Arcadio?
This place was a little paradise. Last year would have been the time to come.
I was led to believe that we were welcome here, this year or any year.
You still are, Mr. Jim. We are ashamed.
Alan, we didn't come here expecting to find laundromats and supermarkets.
We wish we had asked you to return where you came from, while the ship was still here.
I don't understand.
We have gone back to primitive ways. There are things which we do now that we did not do before.
How have you returned to primitive ways?
It is, as my grandfather says, we have returned to the ways of our ancestors. And we are not too proud of it.
Hoy, alam. Karpintero pa yata tong amo mo.
They want to know if you're a carpenter, Jim.
No, I'm classified as an instructor in community action. In Colombia, where I first served, they called it Acción Comunal.
Action Comunal. Action Comunal.
Explain to your people that I'm here to help them improve their village, not to run it. Now, this is a health center we're making. Next, a schoolhouse. Maybe even an irrigation system. But they've got to do the work themselves. It's the weirdest looking plant I've ever seen. What is it?
Huwag mo sasabihin, alam.
Something wrong?
Made any earth-shaking discoveries yet, Dr. Henderson?
I won't know until I get this under a microscope. What time is it?
It's about 4:30. It's too early for a sunset. but there it is. It's so peaceful here. I'm not one of your specimens, Paul.
No, you're not. Sometimes I think it would be a lot simpler for me if you were.
Yes, I guess it would. Let's go back before we get lost in the dark.
What's the matter?
That thing. What is it?
Some kind of a land crab, I think, but
Paul, I'm frightened. Let's go back now. Paul, that sunset.
a trick of the atmosphere.
Is that all it is? Why is everything so still?
It's just your imagination, Carla. Come on.
What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Welcome to Blood Island. I bring greetings from my master, Mr. Esteban Powers. He has a table prepared for you. Please, follow me.
Well, you've got to admit, he's got style.
master regrets the lack of transportation. This way, please.
Isn't that some kind of a banana tree?
The bark is definitely Musosipian. But that growth there, I've never seen anything like that before.
Paul, it's moving.
Yes.
Please, hurry.
Come on, we'll have time for a closer look in the morning. Must be over 100 years old.
Oh, this is a Like's Meaty Jumbo. This is a bottomless pit. It eats most things that aren't tied down. That includes hot dogs. That's why I buy this one. It's got 25% less fat. That's more lean meat, and that's better for my whole family. Especially the disposal. Would you like a jar of pickles to go with that?
Likes meaty jumbos. Less fat, more lean. Beef jumbos, too.
If there's one thing the guys at Mechanics Illustrated like better than building things in the workshop, it's building a new issue of our magazine every month. That's why Mechanics Illustrated is the last word when it comes to things mechanical. Things you can make yourself, make over, or install. Some things we tell you about you should know. Money-saving home insulation tips. The real facts about smoke detectors. You see, our mechanics really are illustrated, with full instructions that show you how to do it all. So we'll save you money, because we're built for readers who want to know what'll work best for them. Cars, trucks, tools. When our guys try them out and report back, you know you're getting the inside story from people who really care about the way things work. And because we care about you, we've whittled down the price.
Call 1-800-228-6600 and get one full year, 12 issues of Mechanics Illustrated for just $6.94. That's $11 off the individual copy price. So call 1-800-228-6600.
3 escaped convicts walk through a door, and a reign of terror begins.
You scream and the kid will come home and find you in a pool of blood.
For 48 terrible hours, an entire family is held hostage in their own home.
Close the door and back here, folks.
Don't miss Humphrey Bogart in the type of role that made him famous.
What if the police come? What if they find you here? It wouldn't be pretty. If that happens, you folks get it first.
The Desperate Hours with limited commercial intermissions. Tuesday night at 8.
Desperate Hours is a magnificent film. Those of you who have not seen it, I will give it an extra plug. See that movie. Make time in your schedule to watch that film. It's one of Humphrey Bogart's finest, absolutely finest roles. My question was, Island of Living Horror had a previous title, an original title, and what was that title? Well, Bobby J. in Fort Lauderdale knew exactly that it was Brides of Blood. Blood Island, Brides of Blood, made sense. Made sense to me anyway. Now, the star of this film, as you can see, I mean, did you look down the credits? I mean, did you see that? Beverly Hills. I mean, that sounds like a drag queen, please. Beverly Hills. Or a city, one or the other. But that's her name. But John Ashley's there, and so is Kent Taylor. John Ashley, in fact, stars in all three of these films in this trilogy that we're going to see tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday evening. He starred in some beach movies, and he also co-produced some of the other films. He's currently the producer of a very high-rated nighttime series. And the 10th caller who can tell me what the title of that current running nighttime primetime series is that John Ashley produces will receive a Tom Cruise poster. But now let's return to Island of Living Horror.
ginagawa mo riyan? Sumo sa taas. Master, your guest. Fellow Americans, I'm Esteban Powers. Esteban.
Jim Farrell.
The Peace Corpsman.
Right.
And Dr. Henderson.
How do you do?
Mrs. Henderson.
Carla, to my friends and enemies.
I hope never to belong to the second category.
I don't think you'll ever have to worry about that.
I must apologize for not having been able to meet you. I would have wanted to bring all of you here directly, but if it's not too late, I'd like to invite all of you to stay here for the duration of your visit.
Well, I don't know about Paul and Carla, but I really can't even begin to do my work unless I live with the people.
You don't have to be that democratic, do you, Doctor?
Well,
We accept. Paul, you know you'll do much better work after you've had a nice, hot shower and slept in a honest-to-goodness bed.
Well, under those circumstances, how can I refuse?
It's settled then, shall we? I must warn you, Doctor, that you'll find me an incurable dilettante. I'm afraid you'll find me breathing down your neck. Mrs. Henderson? Jim? Doctor? What's that? Stop it, Goro. This belongs to Dr. Henderson.
It's your flare gun, Paul.
I must have dropped it somewhere.
And the poor fellow happened to pick it up. You didn't give Bull any chance to return it, Goro. I hope Goro's unfortunate display of temper hasn't spoiled your appetite.
Well, he is a little different.
He's not as sinister as he seems to be. Fact is, I wouldn't know what to do without him. Appearances to the contrary, he would be a top overseer in any plantation. Your property, sir.
Thank you. I didn't really expect to get lost on the island, but ground rules are ground rules.
Just what do you expect to find here, Doctor?
This island was on the fringe of the atomic radiation area during the bomb tests in the late 40s.
Declared safe. Then, as now.
That's why I didn't expect to find any effect of the bomb tests on the flora and fauna of the island.
Didn't expect?
I found a crab, an ordinary land crab that had undergone some kind of mutation and also manifested a very high degree of radioactivity.
Well, couldn't it have migrated from Bikini or one of the other islands to the test area?
Well, assuming that it survived the bomb blast, that would seem like the logical explanation.
Migraine. Have you found high radioactivity in any other creature on the island?
No, not yet.
Then James' explanation is probably valid.
The trouble is, if any other living thing on the island had been affected by atomic radiation, only the crab would show evidence of strontium-90, not any other creature.
Why?
When a crab molts, it eats its own shell, thereby reabsorbing its own radioactivity.
Well, what about the other creatures?
That would depend on inference or other evidence.
What other evidence, Paul?
You got me there. I really don't know. Mutation, possibly.
Mutation?
Inexplicable organic variations in animal or plant life.
How long will it take you to determine whether any other creature besides the crab have been affected?
A day, a month. Depends on a lot of things.
Could this mutation affect humans as well?
I don't know.
Theoretically, Doctor, would it be possible?
Theoretically, anything is possible.
Return to your homes. There's nothing you can do for them.
Little.
Earthquake?
No.
Paul?
It's a tropical variety of the Tinsidae.
It's changing shape.
Carla, first aid kit, quick.
Hey, take it easy. I'm not hemorrhaging.
Paul, what's happening here?
It seems that some living organisms on this island are undergoing drastic mutation.
Please, Mr. Farrell.
We can't leave those women out there to be murdered.
There's nothing anyone can do for them. They are dead even now.
Please, Jim. What my grandfather says is true.
I'm prepared to stop you at all costs, Mr. Farrell.
Listen. It stopped.
Wasn't that interesting? Now a word from our friends at the American Tire Company. Friends, a little Dayton Tire charge card from American Tire Company can get you premium steel radial tires for as little as $15 a month. And as we all know, qualifying is a cinch.
Finally, it took American Tire Company and Dayton Tire manufacturers to come up with the easiest way to put on new steel radials or give repair service to cars in this tight money economy. For as little as $15 a month with a new Dayton revolving charge card from American Tire, you can put on a fresh new set of premium steel radial tires. So see American Tire today and ask for details of the plan with no money down, instant credit, and much more at American Tire Company, 2037 Johnson Street in Hollywood or 211 Northwest 27th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale.
And as you know, with a Dayton Tire charge card, you can get repairs on your car. And it's also the case that with your Dayton Tire Charge, or you can get your Dayton Tire Charge card with any major credit card. And those, of course, are our friends at American Tire Company. And the tires, as you know, the radios for as little as $15 a month, and there they are, located at 2037 Johnson Street in Hollywood and 211 Northwest 27th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. Our friends at American Tire Company. Pretty good stuff. I mean, can you believe this movie? I mean, folks. Here they are. They're romping around through the woods with, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes at their feet. The vines grabbing them here and there, and a triffid there and a triffid there, and the Thing and all sorts of stuff jumping out at them. It was like, Evil Dead. Did you see the Evil Dead out in the theaters? In that movie, of course, one of the girls gets attacked by the forest. I mean, the entire forest grabs her and rips at her. And in this one, of course, Beverly Hills with that bouffant of death on top of her head. I mean, that woman's died to the roots. Just take a look at her. Anyway, they're running through there, no problem. You say, stab that vine right there, kick him off over here. They get inside the house, butterfly flies in, they all go, the butterfly, what are we going to do? It's going to bite us. I mean, please. Attack of the Killer Butterfly. Can you imagine people being afraid of a butterfly? And you see Mr. Monster there? Ugh. He looked like he just fell in a big pile of goop. And he gooped those girls to death and ripped their arms off. Of course, they cut that part out. We didn't get a chance to see that. I had a winner on the last question. And that was, of course, what is the new nighttime primetime series that John Ashley produces? And that is the A-Team. And J.C. Rafalev was our winner of a Tom Cruise poster. He knew that. He had that information. I have another trivia question for you, and this one has to do, again, notice how my nose itched there? I'm really okay. I'm not that rude in real life, only for television. John Ashley was married to a young lady who did a lot of, teeny bop films, as they called them, beach blanket bingo type movies. I will take the 10th caller who can tell me who John Ashley was married to. They even had a son, the two of them. They're no longer married. She divorced him. She said, you have to make these awful movies like this Blood Island trilogy stuff. And this, of course, is part 1 of the Blood Island trilogy. We will be seeing part 2 and 3 tomorrow night and Wednesday night. So, if you aren't too excited about this one, you'll be even more excited by tomorrow night. I'll take the 10th caller who can correctly answer that. Now, before we go back to the film, we're going to talk about the Button South, our favorite little club with the tie.
This is the Button South at Hallandale Beach Boulevard and I-95, which is easy to get from anybody, but I'm the star and I can't talk.
Mondays and Wednesdays, what do we do?
Ladies' night!
Tuesday night?
Double Shot Tuesday!
Thursday night?
Shot of the week!
And what's Sunday night?
Party day! And what's every night? Party night!
Every night is party night at the Button South at Hallandale Beach Boulevard and I-95 in Hallandale.
That should be good.
For industrial strength sound, Mr. Hank Incorporated is Miami's leading manufacturer of high-powered sound equipment. Whether it's live music or disco, they've got the power to fill your lounge, boost your rock group to new heights, or carry your concert cross-country with their touring PA. Each system is custom fit to your needs. Mr. Hank stocks amplifiers, equalizers, mixers, outboard effects, and microphones. They'll even recone your speakers. When you can't afford to miss the beat, count on Mr. Hank to put the muscle in your music. Mr. Hank Incorporated, South Florida's only authorized Electro Voice warranty station.
Dad, I'm not a prostitute anymore. They're helping me. Will you take me back?
Every day, Father Ritter's Covenant House saves runaways.
They make me feel like I'm somebody. Mom, I'm not garbage.
Covenant House saves them from the pimps and the predators.
Daddy, I want to see you again. Just don't beat me anymore.
We save all kinds of kids from destroying themselves. Please help.
My life isn't over at 16.
Must be some way of stopping that animal.
It wasn't an animal, Jim.
But it wasn't a man either, so maybe it was an evil spirit, huh?
Please don't be angry.
Are you serious? Can anyone here be happy or, okay, even resigned to the idea of having himself and his entire family just wiped off of the face of the earth?
The men will survive this because it needs only women.
What do you mean? What the devil do you mean?
He does not devour his victims. He merely satisfies himself on them.
But they get torn to pieces.
It is his way of satisfying himself.
Mentora, talaga ba sasamahan natin sila sa loob?
Well, come on.
No. Alfred! Alfred!
Can't say that I blame them.
Paul, if that thing came out of the jungle, aren't we taking an awful chance that? Well, I'm even afraid to say it.
Powers' place is built like a fort. It'll be safer there for you. Besides, he isn't likely to go out of his mind with fear. Come on.
If we ever get back.
Carla, you're going to scare yourself into a fit if you don't watch out.
I'm not frightened now. I was thinking of you.
About me? Now, that certainly sounds like a classic hysteria symptom.
Paul, haven't you ever thought of getting a divorce?
Have you?
I? What would I have to gain? Wouldn't change anything for me. A divorce would get me off your hands for good. I don't think I'd contest it. I just hate to feel that I owe anybody anything.
Don't feel that way, then.
Oh, Paul, you're such an unbelievable stoic. Why do you put up with me?
I wouldn't lose any sleep over that if I were you. I gave up on you a long time ago.
Sometimes I wish that were true.
What's the point of all this? You want to see me wallow in self-pity?
It could be that. It could also be that, in spite of what I am, there's a part of me that's still in love with you. You couldn't possibly believe that, could you?
It isn't easy for either of us, is it?
Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am sent to escort you. Your bags.
We saw here yesterday, but it didn't look at all like that.
Sometimes, Dr. Anderson. The night air on this island deceivs the eyes.
lot easier to practice crop rotation with this new irrigation system.
I will tell them.
Pagbutihin mo ang trabaho mo, alam. Baka ito na lang huling pagkakataon mong tumulong sa amin.
Ano bang dinadakdak mo dyan?
Baka maging asawa mo ang dayuhang yan at mapadala ka sa Amerika.
Sedition in the ranks?
No. A private joke. It has nothing to do with the work.
Okay, let's get this work done, huh? Tomorrow we cut the closed poles for the bamboo network. The bamboo poles for the closed network.
However, I did send a report through Captain McGee.
Do you offer any opinion on these reports?
They expect me to.
What was your opinion?
That the recent killings may have been committed by a maniac.
A maniac?
A crazed, murderous sadist.
Also a man. Assuming it was a man, possessing an unnatural degree of physical strength. Those women were literally torn limb from limb.
Paul.
Master, I am on my way to the wine cellar.
Kumuha ka ng sherry. How about a little sherry before dinner?
I'm sorry. I suppose I'll get used to him eventually.
Come, we'll have a better view of the sunset over there. Unmatched by any other sunset in the world.
It's beautiful.
I'm puzzled by this, Staben. Today's sunset is, well, breathtakingly beautiful, of course. But otherwise, it's quite normal. Yesterday, the very air we breathed seemed to have a gloomy atmosphere.
Like a mortuary light reflected from a corpse. I'm sorry, but that's the way I felt yesterday.
All in the eye of the beholder. I've lived here practically all my life, and I assure you I've never felt that way. There, as I said, unmatched by any other.
Alam? Alam?
Notice how he has that sort of make me write bad checks look in his eye when they drag the girly cans off. You didn't like that at all. Well, before we do anything more, let's hear about our friends from Three Guys Discount. Three Guys Discount has the prices that beat any mall. I mean, they just do. And the stock that lets you find something for everyone. Three Guys has over 2,000 shirts. Here's one of them right here. Friends of Dorothy, this one's for you. It says, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Not quite certain where we are, but it's in living color, and we all know Kansas is black and white. I've got ruby pumps, and I can't get over this. This is just too hot. I love it. Anyway, 2,000 T-shirts. This is, well, they have 1,999 because I've got one right here. But that doesn't matter. I'm sure you can have this one if you want it really badly enough. Also, they have wall hangings, mini to giant size, and stationery, and bumper stickers like I Break for Hallucinations. You've seen that one. Hats like this one right here. This is the surf hat. And can huggers and movie and rock posters, Hollywood movie prints, not unlike the one sheets we have back here. Mr. Teddy Bears, right here. Don't abuse Teddy. Remember that. Zonk. Teddy gets one bite from Michelle, and Michelle goes, zap. So long, Teddy. Have a nice snooze. Also, incense holders, the Kama Sutra Love Kit in a can, right there. Yum. And even checkered sneakers. Can't beat that. L.A. Gear, no doubt. Both stores are now featuring spring break T-shirts, and their Wilton Manors store is only minutes from the beach near 5 Points in Wilton Manors. In Davie, it's at the corner of Davie and Orange Drive. Now, both stores are open from 9 a.m. till 11 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and Sunday, 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. Their numbers are in Davie. Oh, there they are right there on the screen. 791-5199. And in Wilton Manors, 564-8410. Teddy, wake up. Those are our friends from Three Guys Discount. Right, Teddy? Right. Right. Got it. Oh, take the hat off. That's it. Three Guys get great stuff there. Can't beat it. Could you believe this movie? They said, oh, I've got an idea. Let's walk over to the big tree over there. Remember in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy was hungry and she said, I'm starving, let's have an apple. She grabbed an apple off the tree and the tree went, get your hands off my apples, little girl. He didn't quite say it like that, but that's kind of what he meant, right? Did you notice this one? The little kid walks up to the tree grabs the little kid, throws him up in the air, squishes the adults, killing them on contact immediately. The little munchkinette, right? I mean, little kids squeeze really quickly and easily, right? One would think so. The little kid's up there, Mr. Tree's going squish, 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 kills off all the adults. Little kid drops into the ground. Little kid's fine. No problem, right? Did you notice how the tree just, I mean, those limbs, they were so mechanical. It's a real high-budget movie. They spent $4 on special effects and 12 cents on the acting lessons. Did you notice Beverly Hills, who's been on the island now for a week and a half, still has great-looking hair? She's been to the beauty parlor, the native beauty parlor, every night this week. And the young lady, the native girl who was just let off to... Mr. Slime Monster Creature, whatever, Kabonga Monster, whatever he is. Notice how her necklace, these are people who live in the jungle, right? Or I should say on the island, and they'd have, like, homemade things, like they make their own jewelry, right? I mean, this girl had Sarah Coventry diamonds on, please. I mean, where did she get this stuff? Well, just one of the little inequities. That's what they call property, props. And they say props, and when you go to the movie, it says props. Well, the person in this one for props obviously fell asleep long before the movie was made, got credit at the bottom, and that was it, because the property manager was berserko. This is obviously Woolworth's five and dime stuff. Special effects people, there were no special effects people, not in this one. It was just too bad. I had a winner to my last question. The question, where is that question? Here it is, right here. The question is, John Ashley, who is the young star here, was married at one time to one of the girls, and excuse me, young ladies, not girls, that's very sexist, can't say that. One of the women, that's with a Y, girls, women, women, W-O-M-Y-N, was married to a person of the female persuasion, and I asked what the person's name was. And Jamie Cohen up in, Jamie, where are you? Up north, Delray or Boynton or someplace like that, answered correctly. She knew that it was Deborah Wally. And Deborah Wally, of course, was Gidget and Gidget Goes Hawaiian, and made, that Beach Blanket Bingo movie with John Ashley, and that's where they met, and he said, sure do like your towel. And she said, sure do like yours. And that was it. They got married and had a baby. Not necessarily in that order, but I think it was in that order. I love this movie. It's so bad. You know, I've got to I don't mean to laugh, folks. I'm not really going off the deep end, but, you know, I look at this movie, and here these people are walking along the path, you know, and the giant trees come out, the tree limbs, and they start grabbing them. They're in the house, and the butterfly has them all scared to death. And the butterfly, I mean, butterflies don't bite people, unless it was a moth. And moths don't bite people either because they can't. I mean, you know, it's physically impossible, right? But the moth comes down and attacks good old Kent Taylor, gives him a bite on the hand. These people are terrified of this little paper, Attack of the Killer Butterfly. You know, this is such hokey stuff. You look at this and you say, how could these people act with this? If I were in this film, I'd be falling over laughing. I'd say, good golly, I can't believe it. It's just too wild. It's just off-the-wall bizarre. I mean, it's too much. I have another, I have another question. I do have another question for you, and this one is concerning the TV show, that primetime evening program that John actually is producer of, and that's the A-Team. Now, there is a certain person who does the voiceover at the beginning of the show. I will take the lines are all lit already, so they're anticipating this is going to be an easy question. And folks, this one is not easy. I'll bet all three of you who are sitting on those three lines right now have no idea what the answer is, none whatsoever. I want to know who does the voiceover at the beginning of the A-Team. At the beginning of the program, there's a voice open that opens the show. Whose voice is that? Whose voiceover? And before we go back to the movie, we're going to see a little bit about the Hurricanes plate, the Canes plate offer. Remember, Miami Hurricanes, winners?
Who will ever forget 1983 and the national football champion Miami Hurricanes? It was a great day for Miami. Now you can capture the excitement and pride of this historic moment in sports history in a genuine collector's edition keepsake as a memento for years to come. The Miami Hurricanes 1983 National Football Champions Collector's Plate is now available in a very limited edition. This beautiful memento bears the inscription of this championship event in the traditional orange and green. The back of each plate displays the 1983-84 football schedule and scores of all games. Each collector's plate comes with a certificate of authenticity guaranteeing that only a very limited number of plates will be issued. Your plate will be a numbered collector's item. Don't miss this opportunity to own a permanent, beautiful memento of the Canes making sports history. Don't delay. This item is very limited and demand is high. Once we have exhausted this edition, this offer cannot be repeated. The collector's plate makes a wonderful, thoughtful gift or a handsome collectible. Here's how to order. Send $22.50 plus $2.50 postage and handling and $1.25 tax for a total of $26.50 to Canes No. 1 Plate, P.O. Box 1350, Hollywood, Florida 33020. For Visa or MasterCard holders in Broward, call 493-7745. In Dade, phone 949-6091.
Look, listen to me. Look, we can fight this thing. Whatever it is, we can destroy it. Look, just trust me, huh? Just let me go. I promise you won't regret it. I just want to help you. I just want...
Magtigil ka! Sinabi ko na siyang magtigil ka!
Mr. Farrell, no!
I don't want to fight you, Arcadio, but I will.
Jim, you're in danger, the village. Jim!
Over. You're safe now.
But you don't understand.
It's all right. Come on.
Open up! Open up! It's Alam! Jim, they won't let us in.
Here. They're gone.
They don't like what you've done.
Here, put this on. Hurry. It's awful quiet.
The evil has lifted. We can go to the jungle now.
You mean run away?
We'll both be killed if we remain here.
By who? Your own people?
They believe that the evil one will come back and vent its anger on the entire village.
Then we gotta make them realize how foolish and dangerous it is to believe that.
Jim.
Stand back.
What?
Jim. I'm afraid.
Why? You'll be safe in that house. Safe from the evil one and safe from your own people. Come on.
With Excel Mortgage Company, loans from a few $1,000s to any amount you need are all private and confidential. There are no credit checks or employment verifications of any kind, so your loan can be approved and funded within a matter of days of your loan request. There is simply no red tape. If you own a home, condo, or any property in Florida, call Excel Mortgage for fast action in getting the money you need. Day and evening appointments are available. Call in Dade 653-4229 and in Broward 522-4229.
A Jeffrey Orsak test case.
A South Florida resident was seriously injured when she tripped on debris left by the construction company. Question: would you be entitled to money damages if injured in an accident like this?
If you have been seriously injured, call the law offices of Jeffrey Orsak, serving Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach counties.
Protecting your rights under the law.
Look out. The elements are after one of your most valued possessions, your automobile. Look, you can wash it, you can wax it, you can polish it over and over again. Nothing seems to help, but you can do something about it. Now there's something that gives your car lasting protection from the elements. Now you can plastic coat your car with Glow Shield, the new car treatment. Until now, plastic coating was available only through new car dealers, costing up to hundreds of dollars. Through this special TV offer, you can buy Glow Shield for only $9.95. That's right, only $9.95. Do not confuse Glow Shield with silicone products. Only Glow Shield contains expensive acrylics, the same as your car's original paint. Glow Shield goes on easily. No rubbing, no buffing. Just wipe it on, wipe it off. It's that quick. Glow Shield strips away old wax and grime, and in no time at all, you have a clear plastic shield just like your car's original acrylic finish, fresh from the factory. A plastic shield so tough, so hard, nothing can stick to it. Nothing. Not tree sap, not road salt, not dirt, grime, not even bird droppings, grease, gasoline, not even paint. Watch how it all washes off with just a spray, and the mirror-like luster comes right back. Don't try this with your old-fashioned wax. Glow Shield is not a wax, but an amazing super luster acrylic shield that actually bonds to the car while it cleans, revitalizes, and protects the finish from rust and corrosion with a mirror-like glaze that's guaranteed to last 3 years. So why take a chance with cheaper polymer silicones when you can have the original acrylic protection? Glow Shield. Great for trim and chrome, too. Here's how to order.
To order Glow Shield, please send $9.95 to Glow Shield, P.O. Box 1350, Hollywood, Florida. That's Glow Shield, P.O. Box 1350, Hollywood, Florida 33022. Visa and MasterCard are accepted. Order now by sending $9.95 to Glow Shield, P.O. Box 1350, Hollywood, Florida 33022.
Welcome to the master's house, Mr. Farrell. Magtuli ka alam.
We've come to accept your master's hospitality, if his offer's still open.
Of course. This way. Please, sit down.
Hello, Carla.
Well, hello indeed. This isn't a social visit, is it? Have you been a nutty boy, Jim?
We defied the wicked spirits. We got the whole village chasing us. Where's Esteban?
He's not feeling well. He had some type of an attack last night. He calls it migraine. Paul thinks it's epilepsy.
Is Paul asleep?
Oh, no. He'll be awake for the next 3 days. He's quite excited about the little monster he's captured.
Hey, Jim, wait till you see what I've got. Come here. You've never seen anything like this in your life.
Carla tells me you caught a monster.
A cockroach straight out of H.G. Wells.
Well, cockroach, all right.
You should have seen this little beast. Had horns and fangs, and even tried to attack a lizard. You saw it, didn't you, Carla?
Jim, I did see it.
Could somebody have substituted this one for the one you caught?
What on earth for? I was here all the time. I only left the room just now to call you in here.
Well, maybe it mutated itself back to its original shape, if that's possible.
I've seen it happen to a banana plant, even to the very air we breathe around here.
If you do not mind, sir, I shall show you to your rooms.
What about Olive?
There's a vacant room next to yours.
Good. Come on. Good night, Paul.
Girl, what do you want?
The master is not to be disturbed, Mrs. Anderson.
I just wanted to know if he was awake.
Stop fumbling with ratchet heads and open-end wrenches trying to find the right size. Stop readjusting pipe wrenches. Stop using channel locks and pliers that slip and strip bolts. The Urban 2000 Universal Wrench can replace most wrenches in your toolkit. Urban 2000 Universal Wrenches grab and hold any size nut or bolt instantly. Urban 2000 Universal Wrenches are superior to other multi-wrenches you've seen because of this design breakthrough. This spring action head. With one hand, you'll automatically and instantly grab any size nut, bolt, or pipe. You'll never have to search for the right wrench again. Use the Urban 2000 in tight spots. The Urban 2000 turns clockwise with a grip that can't slip. It turns easily counterclockwise without releasing. You can even let go of the wrench. It remains locked in place while you make other adjustments. The Urban 2000 Universal Wrench Set includes a 6-inch and a 10-inch wrench that fit all nut, bolt, and pipe sizes up to 1 3/8 inches. Urban 2000 wrenches are designed for any automotive, electrical, plumbing, or home maintenance needs. Use Urban 2000s for stuck lawnmower blades, bicycle repairs, under the sink, on anchor bolts, bathroom plumbing, loose garage door bolts, and conduit and electrical work. Urban 2000s are ideal for opening strip nuts or bolts. Use them in any tight, hard-to-reach area. Triple nickel-plated chrome vanadium steel gives the Urban 2000 Universal Wrench quality so high that we warranty every Urban 2000 until the year 2000. That's right, fully warranted until the year 2000. Order the Urban 2000 Universal Wrench Set today. You get both the 6-inch and the 10-inch wrench for only $19.95. This is a limited-time TV offer, so order today.
To order, call toll-free 1-800-453-8500. That's 1-800-453-8500. Use your credit card or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $3 for shipping and handling to Urban 2000. P.O. Box 3500, Department F, West Caldwell, New Jersey, 07006.
for industrial-strength sound, Mr. Hank Incorporated is Miami's leading manufacturer of high-powered sound equipment. Whether it's live music or disco, they've got the power to fill your lounge, boost your rock group to new heights, or carry your concert cross-country with their touring PA. Each system is custom-fit to your needs. Mr. Hank stocks amplifiers, equalizers, mixers, outboard effects, and microphones. They'll even recone your speakers. When you can't afford to miss the beat, count on Mr. Hank to put the muscle in your music. Mr. Hank Incorporated, South Florida's only authorized Electro Voice warranty station.
When Perry Mason starts his cross-examination.
Or do you customarily receive your campaign contributions in that manner, Mr. Locke?
Objection, Your Honor. The case is as good as solved.
All that theorizing with Locke. You were after me all the time, weren't you, Mason?
I must have been, Mr. Ruskin. I was after the murderer.
Weekdays at noon, it's Perry Mason, only on WDZL-TV, Channel 39.
You're Arcadius' granddaughter, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Please forgive me for intruding, Mr. Powers.
You're most welcome here, Alam, for as long as you care to stay.
Thank you, sir.
Goro tells me that the villagers are after you. Is this true?
Yeah, I seem to have offended the evil one when I cut her loose last night.
This is really quite terrible. It's idiotic of me not to have a radio transmitter. As it is, we're completely cut off.
What about those fishing boats out there?
The Bancas? It's over 300 miles of rough and open sea to the nearest large island. We haven't got Bancas big enough to make the crossing.
In the meantime, this beast just continues to wallow in an orgy of blood.
Has anyone ever seen him or it?
I don't know of anyone alive who has. I fainted just before he could get to me.
I'm thinking of setting a trap for our monster. With the villagers' help.
I doubt if you can even get them to come out of their homes right now.
When I am ready, I will just have to make them.
Paul, please don't stray too far away from the house.
Don't worry, there isn't a monster alive who can outrun me. But I'll stay close.
I could keep you company if you're sure I won't be in the way.
Well, I wouldn't want to take you from your work.
Oh, there isn't that much for me to do.
Oh, but Esteban, you said you were going to show me your wife's mosaics.
They'll still be there when we get back. I do need to get out of the house, Paul.
Well, I won't pretend I wouldn't feel better having you around.
You know, I haven't used one of these in a long time.
Let's hope we don't need it.
And that, if we do need it, it can help.
Here's another one that died before it had a chance to revert back to its original nature.
In your long experience, Paul, have you ever run across anything like this before?
Never. Even in circumstances exactly like this. I can't even begin to form a theory until I have a pattern. For one thing, why haven't the people on this island been affected by mutation?
That's easy. They weren't on this island when the bombs were exploded on Bikini.
You mean they were evacuated and then returned when the island was declared safe?
No. They'd never set foot on the island before the test. They were sent from resettlement centers after the explosions.
Then they couldn't possibly have been affected by the bomb tests.
So you do tend to favor the notion that the test had something to do with causing these mutations?
For the time being, yes. But we don't have enough evidence to support the wildest theory.
She was an extremely gifted woman. Strange, there's a very strong Spanish influence in her work.
Not so strange. She was Spanish. I'm half Spanish myself, you know. My mother's forebears were the first Europeans to come to this island. First to settle here. They established a rather important trading base, built this house. Then my father came along and met my mother, who was an only daughter, and of Spanish regime.
But you were educated in the States, weren't you?
Not really. A couple of years of college. Then I went to Spain, the Royal University of Barcelona. That's where I met Beatriz, my wife. We were both very young. But when the war broke out, everything seemed so...
Wait a minute, are you talking about the Spanish Civil War?
Yes.
That was 30 years ago.
So it was.
But that'd make you close to 50 at least.
You're right again.
But that's incredible. You don't look a day over 30.
Welcome to Shangri-La, my friends.
If you'll excuse a rather indelicate non sequitur, Stebbin, what did your wife die of?
No one knows for certain. She developed a fever. We flew her back to the mainland, but the doctors there couldn't do anything for her. And then her complexion suddenly changed.
Changed? In what way?
Discolored. She grew darker by the day, almost by the hour. In spite of the fever, which she couldn't shake off, she seemed quite well otherwise. Then one day, suddenly, she died. She died in terrible pain. The pain came all at once and simply overwhelmed her.
Forgive me my stupid curiosity.
No. Please don't apologize. I want to talk about it.
Did your wife die within a year of the bomb tests?
I knew you'd ask me that. It was our 15th anniversary when Beatriz talked me into taking a vacation. A cruise among the islands. We had a 30-foot boat, no radio. And we learned much later that we had come within range of radiation area.
But you weren't affected in any way.
I suspect all I got out of it was this schoolgirl complexion.
Master, it is time again for your medicine.
So what about your legal rights if you're injured?
If you've been injured through the negligence of others, you not only need answers about your medical condition, but you should also be asking questions about your legal rights. You may be entitled to compensation.
Call the law firm of Cohen & Cohen to find out. They accept auto and motorcycle accident, defective product, and other negligence cases. In Dade, call 532-1771, or in Broward, call 921-4700.
An ounce of gold, an ounce of zinc. Which is more important for your good health? Zinc, more precious than gold for good health. Zebec is rich in zinc, a mineral essential to bones and red blood cells, plus 6 B-complex vitamins and vitamin C, vitamins your body can't store, plus vitamin E. To make sure you get enough zinc and vitamins in your diet, get Zebec, rich in zinc, more precious than gold for good health. Official vitamin of the 1984 United States Olympic team.
Now, the best-made cars in America are the easiest to own. This weekend, during Midway's exclusive affordability sale, buy the '84 Tempo, Mustang Convertible, or Thunderbird for no money down. That means you pay zip, zero, nada, absolutely nothing down. Put your credit to good use during Midway's affordability sale. Come to Midway. We're just 2 minutes west of the Palmetto at Flagler. Midway Ford, we're affordably better.
Next on Starsky and Hutch.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, it's a steal at $5,000.
$5,000 for what?
You dummy. You let me find me something to hit you
Merle.
with.
Hey, there's JoJo.
This is Paul Michael Glazer. When the narcotics squad's at the rapist loose to finger a drug dealer, Starsky and Hutch try to get him off the street. Don't miss. JoJo.
Tuesday at 6, be here for Starsky and Hutch on Channel 39.
Jim, wake up.
What's the matter?
Carla's missing.
Did you look around the house?
Yes, I've looked all over the house. I'm going out.
Wait a minute. Look, before we go stumbling out in the jungle in the middle of the night, did you...
I've looked in the Stevens room. He's not there, neither is she.
Is anything wrong?
Carla's gone.
Sorry, I woke you, Ellen.
You need not be, Mr. Henderson.
My flare gun's missing.
Here, take this.
Stay close to me, huh? can't go any further. Let's go back.
But what about Carla?
We don't even know where to start looking for her. We're just running in a panic.
Jim.
Paul, wait.
Jim.
Carla? Carla! Carla, answer me. It's Paul. Carla! Carla!
Paul!
Dr. Anderson,
Where's Carla?
return to the house, Dr. Anderson.
What have you done with my wife? What have you done with her?
It is no use. You are too late.
He's coming back.
Jim?
Esteban.
Had an attack. Epilepsy. Woke up in the middle of the jungle and... Who is that?
Paul. Goro killed him.
Goro? Are you sure?
We saw it happen, Mr. Powers.
I think I wounded him. He couldn't get very far.
I didn't expect this of Goro. But now we've got to stop him before he can harm other people.
Okay, now we have a segment that we're going to call PSA. People say, what's a PSA? PSA is a public service announcement. You've heard some of these before, and I'll keep doing them until it's time not to do them anymore. Employers, you can receive up to $10,000 if you train and hire eligible Vietnam-era or Korean conflict veterans through the provisions of the Emergency Veterans Job Training Act of 1983. There are certain qualifications, and some of them are: training must be in an occupation in a growth industry, or an occupation requiring new technical skills, or an occupation for which demand for labor exceeds the supply. There are other facets to this great opportunity for both veterans and employers, and the Job Service of Florida can show you how you can participate. This is really great stuff, and it's easy. All you have to do is contact your nearest Job Service of Florida office and ask for a veterans representative, or call the Region 8 office, and there's the number, 325-2979, and they can tell you which office to call. The veterans representative will assist you and help you find the right veterans for your particular training needs. Calling the Job Service of Florida about the emergency Veterans Job Training Program can be your best human resource investment of 1984. So do it right now. We also have a word from the Magic City Cat Club. A cat show is not just one, but many shows running at the same time, each single show being run by a judge in his or her own ring. The judges judge each classification of cats, select a winner, and hold their own finals. Judging is by how much a certain cat conforms to the standard of perfection for their own breed. Judges award trophies, ribbons, and rosettes. Blue ribbons... Sturdy can't talk. And it's only 2 a.m. I can't believe it. Blue ribbons designate a first place in the class in which a cat is entered, a red second, a yellow third. Adult cats, which are not champions, also compete for winner's ribbons, red, white, and blue. And a cat can win 6 of these ribbons, but they can only receive 1 per ring. So, if they get in 1 ring and they say, meow, 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 hop to the next ring, they can win more ribbons. No problem. After becoming a champion, a cat competes for points toward the grand championship, and there are 200 points which are required. I never knew this about cats. I just thought that they were like, Morris. Sat around, were very finicky, or like Garfield, who eats everything, not the least bit finicky. Cats in a cat show are divided into 4 general groups. Household pets are unregistered cats, which do not generally fall into any breed classification. In other words, the alley cat. Kittens are young cats from 4 to 8 months, which must be eligible for registration. Premiers are neutered males, ooh, that hurts, and spayed females, which are registered. That means not for the draft register, that means they're registered as their breed. And those in the championship class are whole cats. That means they haven't been, neutered or spayed. Are whole cats, which are 8 months or older and registered with the CFA. I think that's the Cat Federation of America. Cats are not allowed to be declawed. You know why? Because then they can't scratch up the furniture, folks. What do you mean? Each exhibitor is responsible for his or her own cat and will transport the cat to or from the judging ring when its number is called, and will decorate the cat's cage and attend to all the cat's needs. This is from the Magic City Cat Club, and they're located right here in Miami. Their number is 931-8052, extension 236. So if you want to know more about the new cat show that's coming up from the Magic City Cat Club, just give that number a call. It's 931-8052, extension 236, and ask for Gene Pincus. Gene Pincus. He can give you all the dirt on the cats. Before we go back to the show, I didn't have a single winner. And as you can tell, my nose is beginning to kind of go from the air conditioning. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. Just a bit nippy in here tonight. My question was, who did the voiceovers for the A-Team, for the program? I can't believe I had 10 million calls out there and nobody knew. Well, obviously, John Ashley did it himself. John Ashley always does that sort of stuff himself. So I couldn't give a poster away. What can I say, gang? I tried. I figured somebody out there would be able to get that Tom Cruise poster, but no one could answer the question. I'm going to sit out this time because I want to see the conclusion of this movie, and that's what we're headed into, is the conclusion. So I'm not going to ask a trivia question so I can see this, Blondie's out there. Look at her hair. Does she go to the Native Village hairdo shop? She says, could you please, spray a little more on the do on this side here, please, because it's not quite, as tight as it needs to be. And as one lady called and said, did you take a look at those, what's, up front? Said, I've never seen so much silicone in one chest in my entire life. I said, well, I don't know that those are silicone. Those might be real. She said, I don't think so. They don't bounce. And this lady said she was an expert. She knew all about that sort of stuff, so I've got to take her word for it that we're seeing a silicone job on this number. Blondie, that is. Blondie, of course, has now been eaten. That's Beverly Hills, in case you didn't know who she was and what her name was. Beverly Hills, very original. Beverly Hills has been eaten by the enchanted forest out there, or the living forest, or whatever they call themselves. They just grabbed her and just ripped her to shreds. Ripped those clothes off, everything. It was nasty. But that's what happens. Before we return to the island of living horror, we're going to talk about the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal is my favorite thing in the whole world. Right?
The business world moves fast. I've found only one publication keeps pace with it every business day. Only this. The Wall Street Journal. Not weekly, not bi-weekly. Today's business news today. So you can use it today.
Get all the business news you need when you need it. Get the Wall Street Journal delivered for 6 months for $53. Phone toll-free 800-228-1020. That's 6 months, $53. Delivered every business day. Phone 800-228-1020. Subscribe now.
Big G Texaco isn't just a modern automotive and truck service center. Big G is now your only stop for four-wheel drive accessories. Their certified mechanics are experts on truck repairs and both foreign and domestic cars. For tune-ups, tires, brakes, wheel alignments, diesel fuel, towing, you name it, Big G does it, and does it right. Pull into Big G Texaco at 6501 West 4th Avenue in Hialeah, or call them and ask about their really gigantic sale on steel-belted radials at 822-0801. Big G Texaco, your complete service station.
It's all right, Jim. I think I can manage by myself now.
Okay.
Find my flare gun. I slipped. Hurt my arm. I'm afraid to wait till morning.
Stephen, we can't. Look, there's no telling what Goro might do, even now. I'm sorry.
Let me take a look at it.
No, no. Jim?
Okay. Well, we can't stop now. At least Esteban's armed. We got to figure out some way of reaching the village.
It's me he wants.
We're almost there. Get up.
This sickness will pass away as always.
Lolo, we need your help.
You have endangered your people twice already. I must return you to your place at the altar.
No! Now you listen to me. If we fight this monster together, we can defeat him.
You stayed out once before.
Yes! And you did nothing. You preferred to quake like frightened women here in your home.
What can we do now?
Well, all I want to know is how come Mr. Tree Man got burned in the fire, as they would say, burned in the fire. Could you stand this movie? I mean, Blondie's head comes down, you know, Mr. Tree ate everything else. God knows he probably died from silicone poisoning after he ate, you know, the bottom part of that young lady, from here to here, as they might say. She obviously was just filled with it, so he probably got silicone poisoning and fell over plonk. The thing that's really strange about this movie is that if you look at it, you're asking yourself, why on earth didn't they conclude the film with the fire? You know, that was very logical. John Ashley saves the girl, pushes Mr. Giant Cucumber into the flames, burns him up, has a little cucumber barbecue shish kebab, and end of movie. Nope, goes on for another 4 minutes while they do their little Polynesian dance. Actually, it was for a little extra TNA action, I think, out in the backyard, and probably they said, we still have another half roll of footage on this camera. What are we going to shoot? And somebody said, let's have a party. And so they shot a party, and that was it. And that was our first thing of the evening. We call that Island of Living Horror. Horror, you know, horror, H-O-R-R-O-R, not the other one. Living Horror, which was originally titled Brides of Blood. Tomorrow night, we have part 2 of this Blood Island trilogy, and this one is going to be called Tomb of the Living Dead. John Ashley will again appear in this film. Now, the interesting thing is that John Ashley in these 3 films is not, is not the same character each time. He's a different person in each one of the 3 films. He doesn't come back as himself. He comes back as Deborah Wally. No, he's still John Ashley. He's a different character, though. So he's going to be in Tomb of the Living Dead tomorrow night. We're going to have fun with that one. And then Wednesday night, Beast of the Dead. Don't ask. I don't know what the Beast of the Dead is either. Maybe it's, you know, no, then again, maybe it's not. We won't even talk about that. Tonight, we have more going on, don't we? Oh, I should tell you right now, we have an abbreviated evening. We are going to be looking at 3 o'clock. We go off in about 45 minutes or so. So I think without really talking too much more, we're going to go into our show for the evening, and that's, well, I should say our series for the evening, and it's going to be part 1 of The River, and it's